We're going to look at a couple of ball players who have been immortalized as being the best baseball dynamic duo ever. Who do you think that might be, Murph?
Yeah, I think this one's kind of obvious. I got to go with a couple of guys who played together almost 100 years ago. And look, we're still talking about them. It's Ruth and Gehrig. And the Yankees established themselves as the game's most dominant team back in the 1920s with Murderers Row. The core of that lineup was Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig, who hit 3 and 4 in the middle of that lineup. And Greatest Sports Legends featured both of these players and interviewed the venerable sports writer from the Washington Post, Shirley Povich.
It was unparalleled in all history, Ruth and Gehrig coming up together. And you couldn't walk one without risking what would happen to the next guy you pitched to. Consequently, it put pitchers in a bind. Without Ruth Gehrig, 1-2 punch, there would have been no Yankee dynasty.
Lou and the Babe played together for 10 years, right? And I want you to look at their stats from 1926 to 1933. It's an 8-year period where they were both at their best.
Yeah, now usually Babe led the league in home runs, but Lou wasn't that far behind, and typically Lou led the league in RBIs. And I'm not talking about 120, I'm talking 170, 180 RBIs in a 154-game season, remember.
And these two were not only hitting with power, but their batting averages were also ridiculous. But let's get into a much more pressing issue, if you don't mind, Murph. Between Ruth and Gehrig, let's be honest here. Who had the better nickname?
All right, tough call. You have the Sultan of Swat, right? And you had the Iron Horse. Gehrig certainly was an Iron Horse, the way he never missed a game, and he was so consistent. But, man, when you think about it, the Sultan of Swat, Babe Ruth was the most iconic person in all of American sports, still may be. And that nickname kind of goes right along with it. The Sultan of Swat, I'll give him the nod.
Of course it's Babe Ruth. Now, mind you, he was still the star of the show. And former teammate of Babe describes the fascination the press had with his ability to hit the long ball.
See, the newspapers scared, if he hit a home run, it never said how the game come out in the lineup at all. The headline is all, Babe hits a home run. So he got that publicity and plenty of it, and he earned it too.
When you think about it, Babe was larger than life. He was flamboyant. And then Lou was kind of reserved and, back to himself. So that's why Babe got so much of the press. He loved it, he welcomed it, and Gehrig not so much. They became the standard by which all other dynamic duos would be measured in the future.